This chair is meant for me.
Who's 41?
Make sure there's one for
41, Elliot, come up here.
This
This
chair
is
is
for
meant
Elliot.
for me. I want to eat mine. I'm number 41 too.
You are 41 as well. Here you go. So I wanted to say a few things about Elliot. Elliot, here you go. This is a parting gift for you. So Elliot impressed me right away during the evaluations.
He's like,
You know, he came into the evaluations with a lot of desire, a lot of intensity, fire in his belly, pretty much. He was a go-getter in the evaluations. And the fact that he's tall, he's got long arms, he's fast, he's very athletic. I thought he'd be a great addition to the team, which he was. He's got a great shot from the corner. He keeps practicing that. He's going to be a deadly shooter. And yeah, it was a great contributor. So Elliot had a good year. Thank you so much. Good job this year, buddy. Next number is 42. Who's 42? Andy, come here, buddy. Andy, he's one of my favorite players. Very calm demeanor. Here you go. Very calm demeanor. I remember during the draft, before we even drafted players, Andy is in the same class with Joshua. Joshua begged me to draft Andy. It's not because they're good friends. Yeah, he's a great rebounder. He's a great shooter. And he definitely was a great rebounder, and he can shoot the ball. And he got a lot of loose balls. I remember one specifically, he dove head first for a loose ball. So he had a great year, and I'm glad he's on our team, not only because he's good friends with my kids, because he's a great kid and a great player. So good job, buddy.
Woo, Andy.
43 is Rowan. Come up here, buddy. Rowan, yes, another kid I'm glad to have on our team. So he's also a classmate of my kids. He goes to Northwood Elementary, and they actually wanted me to draft Rowan last season. I said, why do you want to draft Rowan? What's so good about him? Because, well, Rowan he's fast. He's really fast. He's very quick. And he's got great hair. That's the one thing I remember of them saying, like, he's got great hair. I said, how is that going to help us win games? Because, well, he is real quick, so he's going to steal a lot of basketballs for us, which he did. So I was glad to have him this year. He just make a lot of steals. He was 1 for 1 for three-pointers. So, again, I'm glad to have you this year, buddy. Here you go.
Good job, Rowan.
44, Dylan was another player I wanted to have. So last year, I remember Dylan from last season. I thought he was a very steady player from last season. I wanted to draft him. Somebody else drafted him before I did, which was one of our rivals from last year. And this year, I made it a target to get Dylan. I thought he was a great ball handler. He's very steady, very coachable, and I thought he had a great season for us. And if I had a chance to draft him again next year, if we come back, I'm going to get this kid again. So Dylan, great season. Liam right here. Another kid I love. Everybody loves this kid. Always smiling. I think he was everyone's best friend. Everybody loved, and I was looking at the stats. He made 2 buckets on only 5 shots this year. And not only that, but I remember during early on some of our practices, he was making buckets. He wasn't taking a lot of shots. So when he got his opportunity, he was making buckets. And you know, he wasn't a volume shooter, wasn't a volume ball handler, but when he got his shots, he took them and he made them. And he's a great baseball player as well, so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing him in the baseball field this year. So Liam, great job, buddy.
Nice job, Liam.
Esteban right here. Well, Esteban's game speaks for itself. He was dominant offensively, dominant defensively. He was on my team last year. He was a great shooter then. This year, he added great ball handling. He was our main ball handler.
Did a good job on defense.
He did. He almost fell out that one game because he was playing actually great defense. But boy, defensively, he was awesome. But this year, his ball handling was next level. We couldn't have gotten a lot of shots off without him. And personally, I think he's the best player in the whole league. So he did a great job. So Esteban, I'm glad to have you back this year. Jacob's
I'm covered in black.
52. Oh, okay, Jacob. Try not to be biased, but we'll see. I thought he had a very productive year. Great scoring, great rebounding. The one rebound I remember him making was against the Blazers when we were up by 2. It was the last minute. He got that last rebound to win that game for us. He also played great defense, great ball handler. I trusted him handling the ball. He's got great handles. He's really improved his ball handling and his shooting. And him and Esteban made a great 1-2 punch. I don't think there's any 1-2 punch better in the league than Jacob and Esteban. So, Jacob, great job this year. Contributed a lot. Good job. Joshua, 52, buddy. So Joshua, I underestimated Joshua's game this year. So during a winter break, I was able to watch some of the game film that Rob put together for us, the streaming. What I saw was Joshy flying around on defense. I don't know if you guys saw that game against the Blazers. He was, there was that kid, that big kid wide on the Blazers. He was stopping him cold. That kid was aggressive. He was a good dribbler, a good athlete. But what I saw was Joshua chasing him all over the perimeter. You know, that surprised me. Ever since then, I wanted him in our perimeter defense. And to boot, he made some great shots for us this year. And Joshua, you had a great season. I'm proud of you. Good job, buddy. Trip.
Has to be 53.
Last player. So Trip. Now, we were very lucky to get Trip on our team this year. Originally, he actually wasn't even slated for our team. So Trip did not show up for the evaluations. So thus, it was a hat pick. Thus, meaning the coaches have to pick their names out of a bowl. I picked another kid. His name was Joe, out of the hat. The Thunder's coach.
No, Joe Clark.
Joe Clark. Yeah, you know him. And the Thunder's coach, Kathy, had chosen Tripp's name out of the hat. And I didn't know anything about Tripp. So that night we had an OC baseball playoff game. I drove down to OC, watched my kids play. I was talking to one of the dads. I get an email from Kathy right away. It says, hey, there's a kid on your team. His name is Joe Clark. I want his dad to be my assistant coach. He goes, I'll give you, you can have a choice of Tripp, a couple other kids. He goes, name whomever you want. Give me that kid. I didn't know what to do. And I was reading that email out loud for some reason. And one of the dads sat next to me. He goes, hey, did you say Tripp? I go, yeah, Tripp. He goes, yeah. It was Sid Murphy's dad. He goes, yeah, he played on our select baseball team last year, and he wasn't on an all-star team this year. He's a great athlete. You got to get that kid. So right away, I emailed her back. Says, hey, you know what? I'll take Tripp. You can have this kid, Joe Clark. And boy, were we lucky. I think he was the best hat pick ever was, because he was a huge contributor. I don't think there was a hat pick better than him by far. So we were lucky to have Tripp, and he was our best rebounder all year. Got the most rebounds all season, so great job, buddy. Good job. Last, I want to thank Rob for video streaming all the games. My kids' grandparents and their family in Vegas, they're watching every single game, streaming it. They're going back to the archives and rewatching the games, and it's all because of Rob and the way he was streaming the game for us. So Rob, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
He kept score for us all year, the stats. So we got to know he had the most rebounds, most assists, most steals. So that was a valuable asset to have. So Rob, thank you so much for doing that for us.
Yes, sir.
And we're not done. We still have the playoffs. We got our first game is going to be Thursday night. So we do get that bye. So, I'm going to be watching some games Mondays, whomever it is we play, but our first game is Thursday night, so whomever it is we're playing, we're going to come after them, right guys?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Enjoy the cupcake, enjoy the season. We had a great season. 8-2, tied for first place. We'll see you guys. Thanks, guys.